Welcome back to the Missoula podcast. I'm Brandon Smith, in studio by myself today. Unfortunately, Steven Resett is out, not feeling well, but we want to continue to deliver great episodes, great conversations from here in our community to you. So I'm on my own this morning, and what a wild weekend it's been. Kind of a blur from the snow and the Grizz game and the cold and the wet, the downpour. A lot of community events this last weekend. Feels like seasons have changed, and it is now Christmas time in Missoula. I was heading to the Grizz game myself Saturday evening, and as we crossed Higgins Street Bridge, traffic was backed up for the parade of lights, the lighting of the Christmas tree, which, can I just say that I don't think that was really a parade, what was going on down there. It was more of a park your float on the sidewalk and have people walk by. It was like a reverse parade. I'm not sure what happened to the traditional parade of lights, but in my opinion, it was not a parade. But anyway, traffic was backed up, made it difficult to find parking, get to the Grizz game on time, and then the Grizz came out and another dominant win, which was awesome. And then it was just almost a snowpocalypse. Reminded me of that game several years ago where we played App State and the snow was dumping. It was just a wild scene here in Missoula this weekend. And then even this morning, the roads are covered in snow and ice and traffic backed up, and it is officially winter here in the Garden City. But with that, today's guest on the Missoula podcast, he himself was born and raised in Ghana, West Africa, never saw snow until he was a senior in high school when he came to Missoula, Montana. He is arguably the most well-known person in Missoula. He is the founder of 406 AM Crew. My good friend, an amazing story. Tune in and listen to Missoula's own Gabe.
Gabe, welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, excited. Did you get your workout in this morning?
Got a second one in just right now. Yeah,
really?
I got two in. Yes, I got one in around 4:30. Then I'll get another one in the afternoons.
4:30 this morning?
4:30. I get to the gym at 4. I wake up at 4:06. That's the only alarm on my phone is 4:06.
406. Always representing the 406 AM crew.
So this is. I'll show you what it looks like actually. This is my alarm clock.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's the only alarm I got on my phone.
And do you set the alarm every day? 7
Every
days
day,
a week, you're
every
406.
day. Strictly 5 days a week.
Okay.
Weekends, kind of stay in bed a little bit. Hang with the family. Weekends out for the family.
What time do you go to bed?
9. 8:45, 9, I'm going to bed.
You're ready.
I'm ready for bed. Kids go to bed around 8. Then right after that, just chill with the wifey, clean up. I can't have a mess in the kitchen if I go to bed.
Really?
I just can't. So I have to make sure it's clean before I go to bed.
That's your thing, or that's your wife's
That's
thing?
my thing.
Your thing?
And
That's my thing.
Is it a discipline or is it like
It's a discipline.
it drives you nuts?
It drives me nuts, both. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just the kitchen's got to be clean before I go to bed.
That's amazing.
So stay up, clean up, put kids to bed, and just watch a show with wifey.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
How many hours a day are you in the gym?
Recently, 15 hours.
15.
Yeah. Little breaks here and there. But dude, it doesn't really feel like 15 hours.
Yeah.
I'm there. I love what I do so much. It doesn't feel like 15 hours. It
Sure.
just doesn't. And I coach in between. So sometimes I'll go coach and come back, or go run an errand and come back. And those breaks in between help me keep going.
How did you develop the discipline that you have now? Was that natural when you were growing up, or is this something that you had to learn into?
Yeah, both. I actually went to all boys boarding school back in Ghana. This was 20 years ago now. So that was one of the reasons I ended up in Missoula. I did a high school exchange program through my boarding school. And boarding school back home, it's different from boarding school in the U.S., right? Boarding school in the U.S. is, we send the trouble kids to boarding school, right?
Right.
I didn't know that until I moved here, and everyone's like, oh, that's boarding school.
So you were a troublemaker.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's like the total opposite where I'm from. Boarding school it's a high school. It's a discipline. You want to grow up. They also have the better education. out of all there is a day school and there's boarding schools. So it was just a thing we did. And just all dudes. So you get up early, say 5, you do chores. So the discipline started with that. You have to fix your bed every morning before you go to school. So you get up, you do chores, you clean the halls, you shower, you iron your clothes, you go to school. You go to breakfast, then you go to school. Then after you get out of school, it's like a boot camp.
Yeah.
You get out of school, you do more chores, you do homework, then you go to bed.
Sounds a lot like the American school system.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's how you ended up in the U.S.
That's how I ended up in the school. Yeah.
Okay.
So the high school I went to there was an agency that came through and they're like, hey, we can send kids to America. U.S. is called America back home. For big money. You know, like you can come here and study for a year, get the experience, get the exchange program, then you're on your own after that. So it's a great opportunity to get out of Ghana because there's not much opportunity where I'm from. And it just isn't. You can't work. You only go to school. You feed off your parents. Like you just a kid at every age pretty much. So yeah, it was a great opportunity just to get out. And every single kid will want to get out of Ghana just to come live the American dream.
Do a lot of them thrive when they come here, or do they get in trouble? Is it
No, a
probably
lot
mixed?
of them thrive. It's
Is it because of the disciplines that you have when you get here?
You also know. No, I think that too, but it's better than anything we have back home.
Sure.
So you probably be the dumbest person not to work yourself to thrive.
Yeah.
Like it was extremely hard when I got here because every single thing is different. Like nothing is the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say culture shock had to be
to the max.
Yeah.
Like everything's the same. You know, it helped I played soccer in high school, so that helped that transition a little bit because soccer started before school started. I got here in August. School started in September. So I got to know a couple of those dudes a little bit. But I remember this story. My host mom dropped me off my school and I turned around and I looked back and she's bawling her eyes out. And after I got down my program, she told me, after I dropped you off, I didn't know how you were going to do it because I barely spoke English. I could get by, but I just like every single thing's different. I hated wearing coats. I didn't know how to wear pants, not shorts. Like it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Even this one's good, like hot water. When I turned on the faucet and there was hot and cold, I thought it was crazy because where I'm from, we don't have hot water.
Wow.
You just boil water to dump it out and shower. You shower out of a bucket, you know? So all that.
Do you still think about that often? Is it still when you go to the
100%.
sink? It's
Yeah,
still.
yeah. I think about that all the time.
Wow.
Like all the time, you know, and they always say you know, it's easier for me to find my gratitude because I know how good I have it. You know, I go back home and everyone thinks you're a celebrity. You know, like so you always hear people talk, wake up, find your gratitude. If you know how lucky you are, I feel like everything else falls in place because you're not walking around like you deserve everything, you know.
First off, you left your parents in Ghana when you came over here. Were they excited for you? Were they sad? Okay.
No. Yeah, that's the thing. They are super excited for you because they know a lot of doors, so to speak, are going to open or there's more opportunities here than we have there. Not just because you move here, you're going to have it, but
yeah, you have a chance.
You have a chance.
How often do you go back to Ghana?
So when I got here at first, I couldn't go back. Well, I won't say I couldn't go back. I could have went back, but it would be impossible to come back.
Okay.
Lucky for I'm gonna bounce around a little bit.
You're good.
But when you do the exchange program, you're here for a year. You're on a 1-year visa. After that, you have to go back home, renew your visa if you want to come back and study. Lucky for me, I applied for college before I left. I went to Big Sky High School, 2004. Graduated 2005. I got a diploma from high school. I shouldn't have got one because I was only here for a year. But they gave me one. I'm sick.
Again, the American school system.
So with that, I took it to the embassy when I got my acceptance letter from from UM and all that. So I took it to the embassy. Hey, I'm accepted. Like, I have to come back for school. That entices a little. That sounds more inviting than you just showing up to the embassy to get a visa to come here. It's nearly impossible to come to the U.S. without a very, very good reason. And most of the time, you probably won't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So it took a while. After a month and a half, I finally got a call. I'm like, hey, your visa is ready. So I got a 4-year visa to come to college. So that's how I was able to come back. I got back a month late. School was already in session, but transitioned my way right through it. I got back, moved here with one pair of suitcase, one pair of shoe, and that's all I had. And I lived it. I got here. I actually thought I was going to New York before all this, right? I never heard of Missoula, Montana. I didn't even know this place existed. So we got to New York, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm here. And like, I'm about to leave, and they're like, no, you got 2 more flights to go. And I'm like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, you're going to Missoula, Montana. You got to go to Salt Lake, then you got to, I'm like, no. So we actually missed our connection because I thought I was there. So I was ready to take off. I'm like, peace, I missed that connection. They're like, you're going to hop on the next flight. So that was the first time I've ever flown. I've been in a plane, so I didn't know what to do. I walked around the entire airport because I was scared I was going to miss my flight. So I did not sleep down. I'm just like pacing at my gate. Just like, why is nobody here? Then the morning showed up, people started coming in. Then we just flew, and all of a sudden I see mountains and mountains. I'm like, oh no, this is not New York. Yeah. So we fly over land. To make things worse, my host parents, my host mom, Kathy and Jerry, shout out to those people. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here right now. But anyway, they live up O'Brien Creek, which is, where O'Brien Creek, and they live a mile up.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, when it snows, you can get up there. I get a truck and I can't even get up there. But so we start driving and all the way up there. And I'm like, this is where I die. Like, all the way up. Then we finally got to the house, and my bedroom was in the basement. The basement is always cold. I'm not used to the cold. So automatic, I call my mom and say, this is not okay. Like, there's a mistake. This is not New York. I'm here. I'm in the basement. It's cold. And yeah, she's like, dude, this is still better than anything we got here. That was all she told me. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll figure it out. And I had $4,000 in my pocket for tuition, which my dad gave me, and that's a bunch of money where I'm from. I mean, stupid money. And I got to school, and it was $21,000. I thought I had tuition. It wasn't even close. Yeah. So I'm like, you might have to send more money. And he's like, don't have it. But later he sent me $2 more grand, and that's still not enough. And I'm like, right after I received that $2 grand, I was like, don't ever send me anything ever again. I'll figure it out. So I just got a job. My first job was in the food zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, cleaning dishes. I got a picture. Keisha just sent me a picture. I don't know how she found it, that girl. I got a hairnet, and just washing away, and I think it was like $4.25 or something. And I thought I was killing it. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. You can make money here. Where I'm from, you can't make money as a kid. I mean, it's just a whole thing. So I just developed that mindset, like, I have to make it no matter what. And I just didn't stop. You hear these stories all the time, how people get deported from the US and it's a real thing. Like, if I didn't hold up my end of the bargain, like going to school, I could have gotten deported. So I will always wake up. Like, I had nightmares for years about getting deported. And when you're getting deported, they pick you up and just take you as you are. So I will always wake up in the middle of the night just thinking about that shit all the time. And I'm like, there's no way I'm not going to make this work. Like, I got to do everything I got to do to make it.
Is that a fear that you still carry with you today, or have you overcome?
Thankfully, I've been a citizen as of 8 years ago.
Awesome.
So ever since I became a citizen, that fear went away.
Okay.
And to circle back to your question, how often do I go to Ghana? I went to Ghana after I became a citizen because I was not risking going back to Ghana and not being able to come back. So I waited till I became a citizen or a resident. I actually became a resident because I found a girl along the way. I actually met Keisha in high school. Didn't date till college. Then got married 5 years later, dating through college. And I'm like, man, I shouldn't have married you a long time ago.
No
Yeah, why not with 5 years? You know how easy my life would have been? But yeah, so after we got married, you go through that whole paperwork. The whole interview stuff exists. You have to go sit down and
Like the proposal? The movie,
yeah,
The
pretty
Proposal?
much. Yes. It's not like that, but you go to Helena. I mean, I could close my eyes and drive to Helena because I did it so many times because of immigration stuff.
Yeah.
And like you sit there and they interview you. But Keisha and I have been together so long. I mean, she had pictures and evidence that we're actually together. Yeah. So our interview was cake. I mean, the lady looked at her, she's like, oh, yeah. I mean, you guys are, we got nothing to worry about. But yeah, you go through.
So you weren't paying Keisha.
No, I know, right?
Dad send money.
Yeah, I didn't have the money. She was like, she thought I was rich because she saw $4,000. I actually went bowling with her. And we go up there to go pay, and I rip out cash. I'm like, it was like $2. I didn't know what $2 was. So I'm like, here. She's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, just paying because back home you carry cash.
Yeah.
So it was nothing. And she's like, you do not carry cash. So the next day, I went to the in the national office, and the director also freaked out. I'm like, why is everyone freaking out? It's just money. She's like, you need to go put that in the bank right now, and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, that's how it is. Yeah, get a debit card and the whole 9 yard. Yeah. And so I always joke about how she thought I was rich. She had no idea. This dude got $0, you know. But yeah, that's so I wanted to make sure I was secure here before I went back to Ghana. So I waited 6 years before I went back during college, and that was probably the hardest thing I ever did. Like this, not seeing your family.
Oh man.
Back then you could hardly talk to your parents because there was no FaceTime. Mm-hmm. It was a calling card, and this I will never forget. I mean, you dial probably 35 numbers to get through, and if you mess up, you got to start over, and it just. And it's a flip phone. It's one of those, and just, dial forever. And you always fuck up. So you got to do it again. Yeah. And you're talking and it starts beeping at you. That you run out of minutes. You run out of minutes and you don't have any more. Then that's it. Yeah. Conversation cuts. But there was no FaceTime. So that was tough. Then I was able to go home after I took Keisha with me after we got married. She met my family. We actually got married again in Ghana. So prior to the wedding on the beach over there, and we got married and did the whole thing there again. That was big. But
probably culture shock for her.
Yeah.
Now going back.
Yeah. It was. She loved it. I mean, this girl cried on her way back. She didn't want to leave Ghana. Yeah, it was cool. So I'm glad I was able to do that with her still. But yeah, so that's how this whole beginning thing started. Yeah. Just grinding and. That's why I get the work ethic, man. Just like, what else am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So then, you are well known in Missoula as the 406 AM crew founder. Let's talk through that story. It if I recall, it started with you just working out in the morning.
Yeah. It started with me working out in the morning. Couple guys joined me, couple girls joined me. Created a shirt that says 6 AM crew.
That's really early, 6 a.m. I mean, you get up at 4:06.
Yeah, 6 is easy now. But yes, I'll get to the gym, take a picture of the clock in there. I'll post that time, and I'll post something inspirational on the bottom, some to get you moving a little bit. And I got positive reaction from it. The people always text me, "Oh, this is so cool! Thank you for doing this." I'm like, "Oh, okay. So this actually helped one person. Maybe I'll keep doing it." And I remember telling myself, I can't remember who DM'd me that day, but all right, that's super cool because I didn't even know what I was doing. Then the next day I just kept it going. And every day I get there, I'll take a picture. Every day I'll get there, take a picture. Then created the shirt. It was hashtag 6 a.m. crew. Then shout out to my guy X again on the track team. He bought 2 shirts, one black, one white, I remember. And I got it printed. He lived in University District, and I just delivered it to him. I sold it for him for $15 a piece, something like that. And he was so pumped. And I'm like, this is actually cool. And I see him wearing it on campus. And so from then on, I just created more shirts and started the Instagram. I mean, I didn't start my Instagram till down the line. My buddy said, dude, you should start an Instagram account where you just post 406 stuff, not from your personal. Because I was doing the picture from my personal Instagram. So I created a 406 Instagram account and just started posting the times I got there and a little bit of workout. Then it just kept going. And as it got known a little bit, I was like, I want to incorporate Missoula because this place has changed my life. Mm-hmm. So I woke up one day and I texted Russ McMoney, my homie, and I was like, dude, what do you think about adding 40? And he's like, dude, that's actually smart. So I added 40 to it and just created more shirts and kept it going. And this is the crazy part because every time I get to the gym, people join me for workouts. And it just kept going. And it just kept going. And all of a sudden I had a bunch of people all the time just follow me working out. I'll just get set up and we just hit all the stations. I did that for 6 years straight. Didn't charge anybody a dime. I didn't charge anybody a dime. I just started getting paid to work out 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I just started getting paid for it. I just loved it so much. You just like see the joy people have just working out with you. And that's all I want. I just want people to just come work out. And yeah, it just kept growing. This is actually a good story because we're at the University Gym. And there was a guy working out. I mean, like he's always benching or whatever. And you know me, I just like want to talk to everybody in the gym. So I said hi and I was like, put some weight on there, like tease him a little bit. And come to find out, it was a university president. I didn't know it was Seth. No idea. So after I said that and I was leaving, one of the retired alumni, they also work out in the mornings, the 60s, 70s. And he's like, oh, was that a president you were talking to? I'm like, I don't think so. No idea. No, it was the president, So him and I actually developed a relationship. I'll always spot him. I'll have him spot me. I have him on my Instagram, spotting me and work out. And I mean, now we actually have a relationship. I talked to him. He was one of the guys I was talking to at the game, at the Grace game. I work out with I train his kid now. But that's something I just wanted to just break that stereotype from fitness, because just because you're the biggest guy in the gym doesn't mean you can be friendly or make people feel good about themselves or talk to people. So, so I just wanted to break that. And you never know who you run into or who you talk to or whose day you can make. Just being kind and just open and just saying hi. So that was cool. That story I always tell. It's like, it was cool to just do that.
So you're doing a lot of coaching and training now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in the gym 15 hours a day. You're coaching all ages.
Yes. I coach my son's U9 team, Missoula Surf. Then also help with the Grizz soccer program.
Congrats on a great season.
Yes, it was amazing.
I know it didn't end the way you guys wanted, but
it didn't. But man, these ladies, this coaching staff, I mean, this team was something else, man. It's so fun being around good people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. This team is close. Every single person is super dope. It's easy to be there. Like it really is. The coaching staff is awesome. Chris has put together this amazing coaching staff. I mean, the trainers, everyone's super close. We're actually going to dinner tonight with all the coaches. But yeah, it's fun being around those ladies. They just, they're excited to see coaches. They're excited to be there.
Yeah.
You literally have to force them to leave the soccer field because they just can't have enough.
That's what you want.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
That's how I treat the gym. Lately I've gotten the most positive feedback from parents, how kids can't wait to come work out. They call it Gabe Day. Is it Gabe Day? And these are 3rd, 4th graders. All the way.
We should get shirts made. #Gabe Day.
Yeah.
That's our Gabe Day.
Yeah,
start an Instagram account called Gabe Day.
Seriously, they just can't wait to get there and work out. And my youngest client is my second born, Rome. He's 5 years old, and my oldest is 83.
Whoa.
Yeah. I train everybody. I'm like, dude, if I'm gonna do this, I want to be good at training everybody.
Huh. And you're on staff at the Peak now.
Yeah,
as a trainer.
I am a trainer at the Peak. Peak has been super gracious for me to allow me to take my brand over there, because it's kind of unheard of to create a fitness brand and take it to someone else's gym.
Yeah.
But yes, we've developed a really, really good relationship where I just bring people in, man. People just come work out there, and they've been good about creating an avenue where I can be me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I show up at 4:30. I got my own key. I will open the gate. I just walk in and just start training. You know, so it's been a really, really good partnership. Yeah, they've been amazing over there.
Before we get into more of his story, should we do the Burning Five?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's go.
Well, you spoke a little bit to this, but what was your first memory coming to Missoula?
Oh, first memory. I think seeing the mountains. Just the flyover, that's the first thing I saw, and I'm like, oh no, this is not good.
Most people say the opposite. They're like, oh, the mountains
No,
are beautiful.
I was
You're like,
not
"No."
used to it. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know there was mountains like this. That was it. Then I guess meeting my host parents, you know, that was cool. Then just everything else, you know, as I got used to it, I was like, I think people drew me back to coming to Missoula, because I was probably one of 10 Black dudes in Missoula when I got here.
Sure.
Everywhere you went, everyone looked at you. I mean, everybody turned. But people were so nice. You know, everybody wanted help if I needed help. You know, this one's a good one. My first class I went to in high school, it was some computer class, and I got there. I can't remember my teacher's name, but she's like, "What's your name?" I was like, "Gabe Ansah." And she's like, "Can I call you Gabe?" And I was like, "Why would you call me Gabe?" My name is Gabriel. And she's like, "Oh, people go by short names here. So if you want, we can call you Gabe." I was like, "All right, Gabe it is." You know, and that's how this whole Gabe thing started. And she taught us for 15 minutes. And after the lecture, I'm like, dude, I have no idea what you said. I could not understand a word she said. So I actually went to her, and she's like, "Oh, I am so sorry." And she sat me down and just talked through the whole thing. And I'm like, man, this is like the coolest thing anyone's ever done for me. Like, because back home, teachers are not that patient. I couldn't walk up to a teacher and say, "Can you explain your whole lecture to me again?" This one's a touchy subject, because Keisha actually just found this out when we did a magazine with the Missoula. Shouldn't blank on this one, but there's Missoula Valley magazine. Yes, yeah. I went through Ali. Shout out to Ali, dance team coach for the UM. But yeah, she put us on, and she did a whole story. And as I was telling Keisha this, and she was writing it down, she's like, "Wait, what?" So I'm originally a lefty, play sports left, everything's left. But back home, for whatever reason, it wasn't okay to write left. So you get beat to switch. So I got beat first, second, third grade to switch to right. So I've always hated school. I always associated school with getting beat. When you get there and you're getting spanked on the hand all the time, not to use it. So I started using that. Vice versa. I started using this. So now I write right. I don't write left. I haven't written left ever since 4th grade, or when I got switched. So I'm telling her this story now without even thinking that she didn't know. And I'm looking at her, she's bawling her eyes out. So why are you crying? She's like, "You never told me this stuff." As of maybe 3 years ago, I learned to share my story, because life has been so good to me here. I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. You know, I'm not saying this for people to feel sorry. I'm the last person you should feel sorry for, because I won't say I got to figure it out, but, you know, I built that mental strength in a way where nothing can touch my peace of mind. Nothing can touch my mind. There's nothing you can say to me that will take me off my course. Like, you just can't. And I hated sharing my story, as I said, because I always felt like, oh, they're gonna feel sorry for me and want to do this or want to do that. But like, as time goes on, everyone's like, dude, no, you should actually share, because it actually inspires people and it can help someone. So it took me a long time to do interviews, to do podcasts. When I got hired on with the grades, Joe, the guy who writes articles, he's amazing at getting stuff out of you. Joe is awesome. I mean, he just stares at you, not much expression. Like, dude, I told Chris, it looks like he was staring at your soul. And he'll ask me a question and I just keep talking and he just keeps staring. I'm like, okay, here you go. I'll just keep going. I said so much stuff to him I've never said to anybody.
Well,
You know?
I'm inspired. I'm motivated already. Dude, thank you for opening up and sharing that with us. Yeah, I guess rapid fire questions aren't so rapid after all. That was good. That was so
Sorry,
deep.
I know you wanted some rapid.
No, thank you.
And
That's incredible.
I'm not your, I don't know. I would like if before this, if you guys send me questions about, hey, this is what we're gonna talk about, I'll be like, no, let's just freestyle.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get more out of people.
Absolutely.
You know, like I don't.
Have you ever had a bad day? Like as long as I've known
that's
you,
a good question.
You are always
yeah.
happy, encouraging everyone else.
Yeah, I mean,
I admire that.
Yeah. I mean, there is, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't have time to sit there and feel sorry for myself or have a bad day.
Yeah.
I just got to keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many good things in my life. It's tough for me to have a bad day.
Yeah.
I think about my boys. I think about my kids. I think about my wife.
Yeah.
I think about the community. I think about people. Dude, I meet the best people in Missoula through 406. Everybody I train, like I want to hang out with.
Yeah.
And people can't say that.
Yeah.
You know, I can't wait to get up in the morning to hop in my truck, play music loud, and drive to the gym. I do that every single day.
It's awesome.
You know, that time from 4:06 in the morning till about 5:35. I mean, that's my me time. That's the only time I'm alone.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. It's a really
do you
good
get
question.
overwhelmed with all the relationships that you have and keeping those up and trying to support a family and a business?
Yeah, I do. Lately it's been my phone. My phone's a lot for me because my schedule is on there. My work is on there. Everybody finds me through social media. Most people I have found me through social media. And I can't respond fast enough to people. And I always told them, I always want to get back to people. You know, so that's one of the challenges I'm kind of dealing with. Like, I mean, if you text me in the gym, I'll see if I can get back to you right away. So I've been kind of like, when I'm done, I'll sit there for 30 minutes and just go through and just try to respond to everybody, you know. And I miss people. I mean, but I do have a hard time. Yeah, it's a blessing. So I won't say I have a hard time with it, but I mean, just at the Grizz game, there was a lady sitting behind us, and after halftime, we had a bunch of people come say hi, and I was just talking to people, and she taps me on the shoulder, and she's like, "So, who are you?" And I'm like, "Why is everyone here to see you?" You know, I'm like, dude, I am just a trainer. I mean, I'm nobody. You know, and at one point I even texted, I told Keisha this. I was like, Ali, dance team coach, came and said hi. I just gave her a hug and just on to the next. Didn't even say a word to her. I'm like, stuff like that. Like, I felt bad because I didn't even say a word to her. She works out with me. She's a great, great girl. But yeah, it does get overwhelmed. I mean, at the Grizz game, football game, we went out halftime. We came back to the game. It was fourth quarter. We just having to run into people.
You go to a Grizz game and you watch this guy. It's not like all the people you think people will be running to see. They're all coming to him. Like, I'm watching like Mac Anderson's home and Mac's running over to you and like just watching him. Just, you didn't even get to watch the game.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I had no idea what I created.
Yeah.
So, you know,
built something pretty special.
Yeah. I just want to treat people well. I just want my biggest thing, I just want everybody to cheer for each other. My last post I did with the kids which I love. I have a speed and agility crew. I call it my speed crew. It's from kindergarten to 4th grade.
Nice.
5th grade. And we do all this fun stuff, a lot of footwork. But I just posted a reel of, I was doing this cone drill and these kids would just pump, cheering for each other. So cool without me even saying anything, right? And that's all I want. I just want people cheering for each other. I just want, everybody being kind to each other. There's plenty to go around this world. Like, just because I'm sharing your stuff you send me doesn't mean you're going to take my followers. That's the question I got from a while ago. Someone's like, you share everybody's stuff. Why the not? Are you not scared you're going to take your followers? Like, those are not my followers. I mean, people just follow. If my stuff is for you, you'll follow. If it's not, you won't follow. If your stuff is not for me, I won't follow either. So if you tag 406 in something, fitness or whatever you did, that means you're actually proud of it and you want me to see it. So of course I'm going to share it and hype you up. Awesome. So that's the mindset I have with sharing others.
Speaking of getting hyped up and overdosing on caffeine, what's your favorite coffee shop in Missoula?
I don't drink coffee. But my wife goes to Los Cubos and she started this sugar-free chai with oat milk. I've been drinking that.
Have you?
Is it pretty good?
It's pretty good. I mean, I don't think it has any caffeine in it, but I don't know. But yes, I don't drink coffee. I love the smell of it, but I don't drink coffee.
Okay. How about favorite restaurant in Missoula?
Oh yeah, I got the sushi joint downtown. Sakatumi. Yeah. Addicting.
Go to.
Yeah. That's a good one. I never had sushi before until I met Keisha. And she's like, you need to try sushi. I'm like, try it. I'm like, I like the rolls. So yes, I can eat that all the time.
What zip code do you live in?
59808. Yeah.
Good.
59803 is where it's at. How about in Missoula? What's the weirdest thing about Missoula to you? Like, what's just crazy?
Man, that's a tough one.
Or something you can't wrap your head around?
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
People jumping off Mount Sentinel and flying in the air with that. That's the one.
That's awesome.
That one blows your mind.
That one blows my mind because I would never do that.
Yeah.
I just would never do it. Even flying sucks for me now. Like I'm the guy that holds on to the seat. And as much as I hate it, I have to fly because that's the only way I can go see my parents. So flying. But yeah, those guys up there, dude, this wind can shift right. This wind can shift left.
That's awesome.
I just like, I won't say I like being in control, but I like doing stuff I can control.
Sure.
Yeah. I really do it. And lately I listen to Inky Johnson a lot. And I just want to put this out there where he talks about, so that's the first thing I see on my Instagram when I wake up is Inky Johnson. Right. I tell these kids all the time, I love social media because it helped me create a brand and help move my business, and it still does. But you should follow the stuff that inspires you, make you laugh, or feel good about yourself. Right. If the first thing you open on Instagram makes you feel a type of way, or it's just was posting this or whatever, you should unfollow that person. If your first thing you see on Instagram is negative or doesn't make you feel good, you should not follow it because it's getting a reaction out of you that you don't want, you know? So I wake up, I do a post every morning when I'm pulling to the gym, as you see. Right after I post it, I'll see something from Inky Johnson. Then he talks about how we take everything for granted, right? We're thinking you leaving your house in the morning, you are guaranteed to come back. It's so simple, but you don't think about it. Like, who guarantees you that you're going to come back? There's a lot of people in this world that leave, they don't come back. So like my drive to the gym, I really cherish, and my drive home because I know I'm going to go see my family. And when I get there, I just really thank God or whatever, like that I'm back home. Because yeah, it's not guaranteed, like this whole driving thing. I mean, I see so many wrecks just driving home, and this could be you.
Yeah.
You know, we just flew out of Bozeman to go to Arizona Ravens Cardinals game, and that's for whatever reason. Every time I drive out of town, it's when we got the biggest snowstorm, and just drove through it. And I mean, I got there, my forearm was sore, and I couldn't figure out why because I was holding on so tight. It was a sheet of ice, just driving, and the whole time I'm thinking about this stuff, you know. And I have to play cool because my wife is already freaking out. My boys are over there, and they know. You see wrecks, you see car drifted. Every mile you went, there was cars in the ditch. And she's like, "How are you so calm?" I'm not. I just got to play it cool because if I freak out, then they freak out. You know.
Hey, you have the multiple times I walk into Lululemon here in the mall. If you walk into that store and look up to the left, there is a giant poster of this model.
I don't know about model, but
how'd you land that? You're an ambassador for Lululemon, and
the last.
Have you seen that, Steven?
No,
you go in there.
I've never been in Lululemon.
Yeah,
I'll admit it.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. They will own you and your wallet, and it's over.
Yeah, but they're awesome.
That's how you got up there. If you buy enough clothes, you get your picture on the wall. Is that?
No, I didn't even buy clothes. But no, it is the best material you can ever put on your skin. I made the right connection. I was training Erica. Erica used to be a former track star with the Grizz. She works there. Just started training Erica, and they followed my Instagram. Erica was a big part of this, and shout out to Erica. But yeah, she put in a good word. It used to be a pop-up store in the mall, right? So kind of like trying it out, and it did well. So they're like, they're gonna open an actual store. When they do, they look for ambassadors. I had no idea this was a thing. People are actually applying for it. People ask me about it all the time. How do I become an ambassador? Dude, I have no idea. I didn't apply. I didn't even know you could do that. My name got put out there. I had a couple interviews with the managers. And I just showed up as me. I didn't know it was a thing. And all of a sudden they're like, we want to make you an ambassador. You get a picture on the wall. You get pretty much free clothes. They treat you like a celebrity when you walk in there. I mean, I walk in, all these helpers, they put your name on the door, Gabe, I'm ambassador. They have you come try clothes on quarterly when they get new stuff. They give you clothes all the time.
Amazing.
I mean, this is a kid that I actually have 2 childhood pictures. That's all I have. They didn't take pictures back home. I have 2. And Lululemon is like, you're going to do a photo shoot. So, you know me, I'm like, let's carry a kettlebell and a slam ball, med ball, all the way up the M and go do a photo shoot up there. And it was hot. It was like 90 degrees. Let's do this.
You know, there would have been a quicker way down. You could have just jumped off the top of the mountain.
Yeah. But yeah, so they did a whole photo shoot. And I have a picture permanent on a wall in one of the biggest stores ever. What's cool about Lululemon is they actually really care about the community. So when I had the meeting with the managers, Rochelle is one of their managers, Haley is one of their managers. But yeah, she explained what Lulu's about. You know, the first thing people think, clothes are too expensive. But if you actually get to know them, they're all about the community. They sponsor me to run events for the community. You know, I did an M hike last year, 2 years ago, to do a fundraise to go help all the kids back in Ghana. So I went back to Ghana, did a whole charity game. We fed over 100 kids, bought soccer cleats, jerseys, everything soccer. I had 5 giant suitcases with me. And we just get it all over that way. Lululemon sponsored all of it. You know, they sponsored the event. We raised over $3,000. But yeah, they just want to help your community become a better place. And people don't know that about them. And I want to make sure people do know, because outside the clothes, outside the awesome store they have, you know, they have really good people that just want to take care of the community. Yeah. And yeah, I'm just lucky to be part of it. So yeah.
Well, Gabe, we're so blessed to have you in this community and the impact you're making. And I love that you want to see people encourage each other and be excited for each other. And Missoula is a better place with you in it. If people want to find more information about you or what you're doing or the impact you're making, where can they find you?
You can find me at 406 AM Crew on Instagram. I have a Facebook page, but I don't really use it. Instagram is my main avenue. I also have a TikTok. Go follow it. But everything 406 you can find on my IG. Yeah, if you need a workout, just come through and come see me. It will blow your mind. This is the biggest thing I always get. It's a shock to the system the first time you come work out with me because it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's unique. It's not your basic workout. I'm different, so I wanted to create something that's different. You know, it took me a while to figure that out, but I'm like, dude, do you and do it as you want. So my stuff is completely different, and you'll be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So the first time you work out with me, you will know if this is for you or not. And for the most part, it's been for everybody who's come through. And I would never change my style. I just love pushing the boundaries. You see my workouts. I do crazy challenges. You know, another best thing about my Instagram, people tag me in all these crazy challenges they see. If it makes sense, I will do it. If it doesn't, I won't.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, I've done most of them.
That's awesome. Well, dude, Gabe, thank you so much for being here, man. I just appreciate you. And like Steven said, just your heart for the community of Missoula and people, and your story just fascinates me. A guy who had all odds against him, and you've overcome and surpassed, and creating the same opportunity for the next generation is really cool. So appreciate you being here.
No, thank you guys. Yeah, this is awesome. I want to say one thing though. This is something that's been on my heart, and I just wrote a letter about it. I'm involved with the soccer community in Missoula, obviously. Grace, I've coached for FC, I've coached for Strikers, I've coached for Surf now, a new club in town. Surf, Strikers and FC just merged, so now there's two clubs. I train all the kids from every single club. They all come to the same gym. They all come see 406. I'm just trying to bridge a gap where all our clubs can coexist. Ideally, we started this for the kids, right? And lately, it hasn't been about the kids. I'm putting this out there because I want this letter I wrote to go to every single soccer parent in Missoula, because there's too many negativity with the clubs. And adult parents, coaches can help bridge this gap where we can coexist, because we're teaching these kids to not like each other because they play for different clubs. Mm-hmm. That's not what we want.
Creating division.
Yes, we want to come together. We want to teach these kids that guess what, we're all one. Mm-hmm. That we have so many talented kids in Missoula. We don't even have to travel out of state to go play soccer. We can coexist and play each other in Missoula. Our kids would thrive, you know. So I don't have it all figured out, but I think if we just start doing that, you know, our soccer clubs will be a better place. It's in a good place right now, but we can even make it even better. So I'm just begging all the adults involved that we can actually come together and make this happen.
It's awesome. It's great. No, well said. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Awesome.
But yeah, thank you guys for the platform. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yes, for sure.